it's V with 85th and Wade. Thanks for joining me. Now, in this episode, I am doing a review of Simplicity 8912, a caftan. So this is my very first caftan. I'm really, really excited about sharing this with you because it came out fabulous for me. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. So now for this Simplicity pattern, and I have my envelope and my notes, it comes in sizes 6 to 24. And those are two different envelopes. So the envelope I purchased was a 16 through 24 size. So obviously the other pattern envelope is 6 through 14. Now, I did make up a size 18 in this pattern. I felt that was a pretty good fit for me. And so I don't have any complaints about the actual size there. So as far as body measurements, so I'll give the bust and the hip. The bust for the body measurements comes in at 47 to 30. And then for the hip body measurements, which they say the hip, I think, sits anywhere from 6 to 9 inches below the actual hip. Let's see, what does it say? It sits 9 inches below the waist is where they're measuring the hip. That comes in at 48 to 32 inches. Now, as far as finished garment measurements, they only give the bust size as a finished garment measurement on the envelope, but you can look inside at the pattern to see the other ones. So for the bust finished garment, it's 51 inches to 36 inches. So it gives you about a 4 to 6 inch range in terms of ease at the bust. So, let that be kind of where you start, because it gets bigger, obviously, as it goes down. You can play around with how you, figure the ease for the waist and the hip. As far as fabrics are concerned, this is for woven fabrics, and so they recommend chambray, linen, light denim, lightweight shirting, gauze, which I think would be absolutely beautiful, and a couple of other ones as well. So, but staying within that lightweight woven range. For the fabric amount, you'll need anywhere from 1 1/4 yard to 4 1/4 yards. And you can use this on both a 45 as well as a 60-inch fabric. Now, it does come in two different lengths, I guess. So there's a shorter length, which is where you'll have a smaller amount, obviously, of fabric, to the larger length. And I did the full length. And so the most you'll need at the largest size is 4 1/4 yards. As far as the interfacing, there's just a little bit of interfacing. There are facings on the dress, so you have your front and your back neck facing, so you will have to interface there, but not a lot there. And then as far as notions, depending on what version you sew up, you'll need buttons or bias tape. In terms of pieces, there are 10 pieces total in the envelope. I only needed to use 8 of them. I could have used 9 if I wanted to add a pocket at the top. So, again, you can have a neck band, which is the other piece, a pocket, or, just what I did, which was the facings. And then a number of steps, I counted 30 steps for my version. It's pretty much the same amount of steps for the other version as well. So the instructions were really good. I did everything in order. I did not have any modifications, and I give this a 5 out of 5. So what did I sew up? So here is my dress. Absolutely am thrilled with the fabric that I chose. Of course, I have my little slip of paper here to tell me what I purchased. So I purchased this fabric from Hobby Lobby, and this is called Fall Stripe. So it's 72% cotton and 28% linen. It's they say 43 to 44 inch width, which, as I mentioned in a couple of episodes before, that can make all the difference in the world in terms of how much fabric you'll need. I purchased 5.5 or a little more than 5.5 yards of fabric. Um, it was $3.99 a yard. I actually purchased this on October 29th of 2022, in case anyone is interested in that. But it was regularly $7.99. So I did get this. I believe it was on in their clearance area. So for $3.99. So basically $4 a yard, 5 yards, 5.5 yards. That's about $22.50 or so. And so again, I mentioned that it needed 4.25 yards if you were doing the largest size with a 45-inch width. So I probably used about 5 yards or just a little shy of 5 yards because my fabric was not 45 inches. And so those couple of inches difference meant that I couldn't stack pattern pieces next to each other on the width of the fabric as it was folded in half. So that meant I needed to use just a little bit more than what they had on the pattern envelope, which is okay because with 5.5 yards, knowing that I'll probably have needed, 4 yards or so, there wasn't going to be very much left to do with anyway. So I was okay with that. But I think it came out really nice. I really like the stripes and I like the way that they are actually vertical instead of horizontal. So it gives me a lengthening look. I'm 5'5", which I guess I'm not that tall, not that short, but it gives you an extra couple inches worth of look when you wear, for anyone, when you wear it as a vertical stripe. So this is linen. I truly adore linen. I mean, it's not as much linen, but it does have linen in it. So it behaves like linen because it is wrinkled to the max. Now I have worn and washed this, and I have not ironed it again, but you can see some of the wrinkles that are naturally in the fabric. But I enjoy it. Now there is the option to do either embroidery or some type of applique around the front here. The stripes were enough. I didn't want to make that too busy, but I could definitely do that or see that if I were to make this in a solid. It does have some bust darts. It does have pockets, and you cut everything twice. So the front you cut twice, the back you cut twice. Again, you have those two facings and a back facing that you put together there. If you're not into facings, you can definitely do bias tape, which is what they have you do here on the sleeve or the arm side. So all in all, a very quick pattern to put together. Wears wonderfully in terms of comfort. It does have a slit in the front here, so you can make that as wide or as high as you want it to go. Or if you don't want it that high, you can, certainly just keep extending your stitch down the front there. It is good to have a stitch though, because it is a long dress. So you want your legs to be able to move freely as, you have your natural stride, and not be tiptoeing or baby stepping, because you just don't, have that mobility within the dress. So keep that in mind. A slit really is needed. Now, whether you put that on the front or you have two slits on the side, again, is up to you. A nice modification, but I do like the slit in the front. So all in all, I think this was a very good make. I did enjoy it. I will be making this again. Again, it's a very simple one. It's still in the drawers. It's still online at simplicity.com. There are others who have made this, so go out and check their reviews. There may even be a sew along, and if there is one, if I find it, I'll link that below as well for a YouTuber who has done a sew along with it. This is very beginner friendly, even with the facings and the bias tape. I think that's very beginner friendly because it does add some skills if this is, one of your first few garments that you're putting together. One of the other things that I wanted to show as well is that you do have bias tape around the bottom hem, or at least that's what I put there. I can't remember if they said do that or not. I'm going to say they did. But if they didn't, that's another option for you as well. So And I pretty much serged all of my seams. So just to give it a nice clean finish there. But let me know, have you made Simplicity 8912? Is it in your pattern stash? Are you thinking about making it? For those in the Northern Hemisphere, we are getting out of summer, but you still have a few weeks left to put something like that together, because you do have a long and a short version. You can wear tights under either one of those and, you know, have a jacket or a sweater over it and be able to extend it, depending on the type of fabric that you use. So you're not limited to just summertime. But let me know, what do you think? What do you think about the dress? What do you think about the fabric? Maybe they have some at a Hobby Lobby near you, still in their clearance section, or something very similar to it. So looking forward to seeing your comments. Thanks again for walking on this sewing journey with me, and I'll talk to you next time. Oh, I did it again. By the way, I am wearing the Seamwork Aronica, the Seamwork Aronica dress. So I talked about this last time in terms of, I like the style of it. I think it fits okay now that I've gone down, I think, 2 different sizes from what I had originally cut out and sewn up. It still has that, that there around the bust. I got to figure out what to do with the bust area, to make a small bust adjustment, or figuring out how to actually cut it so that it fits a little better. I wear this under a jacket, you know, all the times that I've worn it. So it's not been a big deal for me to wear outside, so long as I have something on the arms that doesn't show all of this there. But I do like the dress. So check out that video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.